Clint Walker once said, "I'm just a regular guy who happens to have been in some movies. I never let fame go to my head, and if there's one thing that proves it, it's his friendship with Jack Elam." These two weren't just co-stars, they were real friends. They worked together in a handful of westerns throughout the 1960s, but their most famous team-up was The Night of the Grizzly in 1966. Clint played the rugged, straight-laced hero, while Jack was the wild, scheming comic relief. It was the perfect contrast, but their real connection wasn't just about what happened on screen. They were complete opposites. Clint had that heroic leading man presence, while Jack was the guy you cast when you needed a grizzled outlaw or a wild-eyed troublemaker. But somehow, they clicked. Same sense of humor, same easygoing attitude toward Hollywood. Clint loved telling stories about Jack pulling pranks on set, like the time he faked a massive sneezing fit just so he could spray a poor stand-in with water. Jack was always cutting up and he liked to gamble. If you pitched pennies with him, or nickels, he would always win, Clint said. He never hesitated to talk about how much he admired Jack, saying he felt lucky to have worked with him. He'd mention Elam in the same breath as guys like Vincent Price, Chuck Heston, and Yul Brynner. But the thing about their friendship? It was private. They weren't the type to do interviews about how close they were, or make a big deal about it. Which is why, when Jack Elam passed away in 2003, people were surprised, actually kind of shocked, that Clint wasn't at the funeral. By that point, Clint was in his mid-70s, and his health wasn't great. Actually, it hadn't been great for decades. Back in 1971, he had a freak skiing accident at Mammoth Mountain. A ski pole went straight through his chest, punctured his heart, and for a moment, he was declared dead. But somehow, he survived. And not just survived. 2 months later, he was already back to work, filming in Spain. That was just the kind of guy he was. Hard work and perseverance, he once said. You have to keep pushing yourself. And he lived by that. But even though he got back on his feet, his heart never fully recovered. That accident changed everything. By the time Jack passed, Clint had to be extremely careful. His doctors warned him, no unnecessary stress, no extreme emotional strain. And a funeral, especially for someone as close as Jack, that wasn't just another event. It could have been dangerous. Clint knew people would wonder why he wasn't there. And the truth is, it crushed him. He later admitted that missing Jack's funeral was one of the hardest choices he ever had to make. But he also knew Jack would have understood.